us at some point or the other in our life have experienced a certain degree of failure. We've experienced feeling left behind. In terms of my involvement on it, I probably was the first person to be involved on this before anybody else came on board. People to have an experience that is believable, and for that it was important to kind of go through the motions that the character goes through. Hi, this is Farhan and you're watching me on ETimes.
Hi, this is Samina Sheikh, and with me today I have Farhan Akhtar, who has worked in Toofan, who has impressed us with his roles in a lot of movies, be it The Sky is Pink, be it Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, and of course he's been a producer, a singer, and an actor. I really love the film. Welcome, Farhan Akhtar, on ETimes Online. Hi,
Thank
Farhan.
you so much,
What do you have to say about the film? It's been a successful hit already.
Well, all I can say is a big thank you, lots of gratitude, lots of love to everybody who took the time out to see it, and all those people who shared some absolutely beautifully wonderful messages with me on their feelings on the film, the feelings on the performances. It just, not just me, the entire team is overjoyed at the response, and just thank you, lots of love. Thank you.
The film talks about success and failure, and it deals with a lot of things. It has an emotional connect also. So personally, in your life, have you experienced such losses, and how have you overcome such experiences in your life?
Yeah, Samina, I feel that all of us at some point or the other in our life have experienced a certain degree of failure. We've experienced feeling left behind. We felt that we were deserving of something more than we got. So these are very human feelings, and felt disappointed about things that we may have done or somebody may have done to us. But at the same time, what is important is to somehow accept those things, maybe just try and understand why it happened, what made you feel that way, and kind of keep moving forward. Because I mean, life cannot be stagnant. Like this. As a river, you have to keep moving forward. Otherwise, when the water stands still for too long, that's usually when it gets toxic or it gets poisonous.
True.
So that's basically it. So you just keep moving forward, and so I've had my share of disappointments. And I had my absolutely people around me who've lifted me up at times, and at times I felt the need to do it myself. But you have to keep moving forward because that's what life is.
So Farhan, of course, like you were preparing for Toofan since a long time. I met you during The Sky is Pink, and that time during that interview also I spoke about Toofan, and you were preparing for the role. You had not confirmed the role that time, but you were looking into this project. So what excited you for working on this project?
Samina, the way this project actually came together was it was a story that I had that I created. I took it to Anjum, who's the screenplay writer. I took it to him, and then once it was in a place where we had a slightly concrete beginning, middle, and end, we then took it to Rakesh. So in terms of my involvement on it, I probably was the first person to be involved on this before anybody else came on board. And it was the reverse of Bhag Milka Bhag, where Rakesh came to me with a story and told me about Milkha ji's life. And in about 20-25 minutes, I told him I'm on to doing the film. And the roles were completely reversed in this, where we went to him with a story and he heard it and said, I'm on to do this film. So that's kind of how it happened.
Okay, that's quite nice to know. And the film is quite good. The script is very good. The way you have a role with Paresh Rawal and the way he trains you throughout the movie and practicing and, showing different, phases of your life. So when you were doing and, you also had to lose your weight, gain your weight. How was that for you? That is not that easy, as an actor to do that.
Yeah, it's not easy. But the thing is that I think you have to keep the eventual result and the goal in mind, which is for people to have an experience that is believable.
Hmm.
And for that it was important to kind of go through the motions that the character goes through,
Hmm.
so that it would feel real, and that it would feel, I wanted to experience it.
Hmm.
I didn't want to pretend like I'm an out of shape Anju.
Hmm.
I wanted to be the out of shape Anju. So then I'm just that guy. And then
Hmm.
when people see me, they know I'm just that guy. I'm not pretending to be that person.
Hmm.
So that makes it believable. It makes the performance honest. And that's what you hope for with every performance that you do.
Hmm.
That you can inject it with as much honesty as
Hmm.
possible.
Hmm.
And if that means changing your shape and changing whatever needs to be changed or adapted into your personality,
Hmm.
you have to do. That's just the part of the job, I guess, and you have to do it.
Also, the movie somewhere like it released on OTT. It is a film which could have released in the theaters, and it could have had a different dhamakedar performance for sure. So, what do you have to say about the film releasing on OTT and the change right now which is happening in the adaptation of OTT platforms right
Right.
now?
I'm for me, it's really exciting because the film, given the times that we are in, has reached millions and millions of people,
Hmm.
on its release, which was not possible if it was a theatrical release.
Hmm.
And I all of us felt that Amazon Prime Video was absolutely the right partner, because they weren't somebody who just came on board saying, and let us put this film out for you.
Hmm.
They absolutely believed in the film, and which
Hmm.
I think you can see in the way they've marketed the film, and in
Hmm.
the way they've gone really pulled all stops,
Hmm.
for them to put a billboard of an Indian film on Times Square,
Hmm.
is a big step to do. You're
True.
kind of, and because the film is dubbed in English, you're reaching
Hmm.
so many people that you wouldn't
Hmm.
have had the opportunity to do if you had just gone on a theatrical
Hmm.
with this film. I
Hmm.
mean, saying which, of course, I understand your question, that there is a whole other experience that happens when you
Hmm.
go to the theater. But I
Hmm.
mean, unfortunately, this is not the time for it.
Hmm.
And we felt that we would really like to put this film out at a time when there seems to be, we seem to be turning a corner,
Hmm.
where there is some hope, that there is some light at the end of this tunnel,
Hmm.
that we've been in for the last year and a half to 2 years.
Hmm.
And this film gives you hope, because it's a film about second chances. It's a
Hmm.
film about coming back from being from the dead, so to speak.
Yeah.
And we felt the time was right, and I'm really happy with the way it's been released, and I'm very happy with the way it's been received.
It's been said that good directors make good actors, but do you think that all directors make good actors? What is your personal take on that?
I actually don't have a personal take on it, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
Um, I, I mean, to me, I mean, either I like a performance or I don't like a performance. It
Hmm.
makes no difference to me what the background of this person is, where he or she
Hmm.
has come from, and that's what I base it on. So I don't know. I mean, I, is there such a thing even as all good directors? I don't know.
Hmm.
So I can't answer this question with any kind of credibility of opinion.
When Lakshya released that time, you said that you wanted to inspire a lot of Indians and young Indians to join armed forces and all. So when you were working on Toofan, you had some kind of intention that people should get into sports and all, because that is something where, of course, it's a recognition for India on a different level altogether.
The thing with sports films, if people connect to it,
Hmm.
is it inspires you in some way or the other in any case, because inherently sport has that magic.
Hmm.
Uh, it is, I mean, whether it's teamwork or whether it's a solo sport, the
Hmm.
fact that there is such an emotional high
Hmm.
in sporting victory.
Hmm.
Even if you're not playing it, as a viewer, when I watch
Hmm.
India win a cricket game, I feel
Yeah.
like I have won.
Yeah.
But I'm not on the field, but I
Hmm.
really feel like I've won. So
Hmm.
similarly, when you watch a character in a film, and if you've connected with that character and with that film, when the character wins at the end, you'll feel like it's your victory,
True.
and you feel very inspired. And if in any way, whether through Bhag Milka Bhag or through this film, people feel like, wow, I want to do sport more seriously. I want to let my child do sport seriously if they are into sport. That is also
Hmm.
very important,
Hmm.
because very rarely are we. It is changing now, but it's still a long way to go. Where having a sporting career is like a massive career option for parents to let their kids do.
True. That's true.
They still, I mean, they'll be, "Acha, cricket tak theek hai," or, like where you can make at least a little bit of money and have a career and some kind of, but the other sports, they still have a long way to go. I mean, there's of course a lot of respect attached to them. I mean, like the team now that's playing, that's going to represent us at the Olympics. We're all rooting for them. We all want them to win, all of that. And we will be absolutely proud of them, regardless of whether they win or not, because to perform at that level in itself is a very, very big thing. But to make a career in sport in this country still has a long way to go. So if these films can inspire parents to saying that, what, if my daughter wants to pursue boxing, let her do it, because I mean there is pride in it, and there is a struggle in it. It's not a cakewalk. It tests your character. So if that can happen, that'd be great.
That's nice to hear. Also, Farhan, that you have been so creatively involved that you started as directing films to now acting, screenwriting, even write a lot of poems and all, which inspires a lot of people. You sing. So sometimes do you feel that going back to how you started is difficult now? Going back to directing might be difficult for you?
No, not at all. I mean, I guess when I get to doing it, I'll realize if it's difficult or not. But in terms of my understanding of it, I don't think so at all. I mean, because my pursuit is really to tell stories. That's my pursuit. I mean, I feel as comfortable just writing a script or writing dialogue for somebody else's film. I feel absolutely comfortable just producing and somebody else is directing and somebody else is acting. So as long as I'm part of the storytelling process, I feel very comfortable. So to me, I don't foresee it being an issue at all when I get into directing a film again. And I look forward to doing it.
That's nice to hear. But Rakesh Omprakash also said that, the deeper the role, the, more interest, the better Farhan is, on screen. The deeper the role Farhan gets into it, involved in that character. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, that's very sweet of Rakesh. And again, I mean, I'm not comfortable sitting here and romanticizing a role that I've done, because it's, at the end of the day, it is a completely it's a process. You know what I mean? And you've taken it that step at a time, and you know what's gone into creating it. So and it's a part of your job to give yourself to the character and allow that character to kind of go into you. That's a part of the job, and so to say that, oh, I feel that I can, you know what I mean? It just feels weird to say that, because I mean, that's why you do what you do, so that you can have that experience. So yeah.
That's nice to hear. But Farhan, you have taken, part in a lot of things, and, production also being one of those things. So were you also personally involved while working on this project, looking into the production department, or were you just behaving like an actor while working on this?
No, I was not involved in production at all. I was only involved in boxing and doing the scenes. That was my involvement. Ritesh has absolutely been the production backbone of this film, coupled with Stuti, who was our executive producer, with Saurabh, who was our line producer. They really kind of held it all together, so that Rakesh and I could be these two kids who were running around and doing our thing in the candy shop, basically.
So before I let you go, Farhan, what are the new projects you're working on?
The film that I'm going to get on to next is a film that's going to be directed by Ashutosh Gowarekar. So that's what I'm looking forward to now. We are kind of in the very early rounds of getting prepped for that film. There obviously is a little bit of, how would you say, confusion in terms of when we'll be able to start, because of just the way, the times that we're living in right now. But exciting, and I'm really looking forward to working with him. He's an absolutely fantastic guy, firstly, to start with, and has made one of my all-time favorite films. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, Farhan, and all the best for all your projects.
Thank you, Samina. Bye. All the best.